All right, I'm back for NA to Z CS2's ongoing coverage of Fragadelphia 18. I'm here with Slight of Boss following their easy win over Take Flyte Kings to lock in playoffs. So to start, you only really had to play one match to make playoffs, so pretty easy so far. How are you feeling coming out of that first match?
It was pretty nice to just get a feel for the setups and the environment here at FRAG. It's a different venue. The desk and chairs are not ideal, but it was nice to get our feet wet in the tournament.
I guess, and what does it feel like to come back from, from the RMR where everything's like so professional, so put together, the adjustable desks, the adjustable chairs, to go back to playing local LANs where you kind of had your start as a player?
It's a nice change of vibe. Obviously the RMR is very serious and very high stakes, a lot of stress. This is just some event where we can kind of relax and play our absolute best CS and just have fun.
And to that point, Boss are coming into this LAN as heavy favorites to, at very least, make top four run here. How is the team feeling? Are we confident in our ability to perform, at post RMR?
Absolutely. We've worked really hard, and we've kept working after the RMR and fixed our mistakes from it. We're just looking to make a good run, deep run here. We're confident against all the teams. We play them. Everyone except Sharks, we have a pretty good idea of how to beat. So yeah, we're feeling very, very confident.
And if we're looking at the field of assembled teams, Boss, stacks up pretty well against the new Noun squad, against the Energy squad, as they themselves didn't make the RMR. So who do you see as your sort of biggest competition here outside of the Brazilians?
Definitely NRG, Sharks, and Nouns, probably the top three. Nouns are a little hard right now because they have two new players. So obviously change of styles, change of IGLs, just change of like the team. NRG obviously brought in George. We have a pretty good idea of how to beat them, but we just have to show up to be able to beat them. And then Sharks, obviously coming from Brazil, I feel like we have a good track record against South American teams, and Cryptic calls really well against them. So I would be very confident if we got Sharks, but yeah, we just have to show up to beat all those opponents.
Now, turning the focus back to the RMR, we unfortunately saw Boss leave the Chinese event after a 1-3 record, but there were some real highlights there. Overall, the team, I think, played pretty strong. Despite not making the major, what positive takeaways can you pull from the Shanghai RMR?
Well, it was a great experience for everyone. Like, that was Fruitcupx' first LAN in a good amount of years, and the way he showed up was just like a huge it was just a huge bonus for us because we honestly didn't know what to expect from him. He's very inexperienced, and he showed up and he played really well. So that was definitely a huge confidence boost, not only for him, but for the whole team. And yeah, we had some good showings. We obviously beat M80, should have beat Complexity, and probably should have beat Bestia. So those are all matches that we closely reviewed. We looked at our mistakes, and we're feeling confident going in the future.
And like you said, Fruitcupx really stepped up to the plate at the RMR, not having played any LANs. I think his last LAN was like a FRAG local, in 2018, 2019. But he was a revelation there in China. I think we saw some really great moments from him. We talked to Cryptic previously about his development as Cryptic. Pardon me. I had a chance to talk to Cryptic about how Fruitcupx has developed, seeing it from the side of a leader looking at a new player in his roster. But what's it been like playing with Fruitcupx as someone in the trenches alongside him?
He's a great teammate. He's just insanely mechanically skilled. He's honestly kind of comparable to JBA in that sense, where he's just very mechanically skilled. He lacks experience and maybe a little bit on the team play side, but we're all like helping him out day by day, and he's just day by day getting better.
Now, looking towards the future with this team, we still see Bosses on the hunt for an organization. Going to the RMR, has there been any updates on that? Any fruit that have come through? People who have given you guys a tip of the hat since you performed so well in China?
We're talking to a couple organizations with our agent Jamie. He's very helpful with the whole process, and he's always behind the scenes in calls with different organizations and cooking up offers for us. So hopefully something comes soon, because the main goal for Boss is to be in Europe with the new Valve changing. We want to be in the best scenario we can be to achieve that top 32 for the next RMR.
You mentioned the changes to the scene coming in 2025. As a orgless NA squad, do the changes to the scene fill you with does it fill you with confidence that we can break out in the scene, or are you worried about not having enough events to play? What's our thought on the 2025 changes to the circuit as an orgless NA squad?
It's a little strange. Valve has kind of screwed us over in a couple ways with the Valve rankings. It's hard for North America to actually accumulate points Like, we won CCT in North America, which is one of the only events that we can play, and we didn't get really any val points from that. So that was pretty hard to see. And then recently, actually the other day, with CCT, we were #1 in the leaderboard for their global final in Malta, and they just changed the rules to where the ranking now goes off the valve. So that was definitely a bummer for us. But our main goal is to get to Europe, to be able to play, have all those events to play, because there's just constantly events going on in Europe. So yeah, the main goal for Boss is to get an organization and get out to Europe.
Following the team's elimination from the Shanghai RMR, you mentioned on Twitter a sort of sense of disappointment in not rising to the occasion, especially in that final match, I believe, against Bestia. How are you feeling about your individuals as an opper right now, especially compared to some of the other top-tier oppers who are here right now?
I've definitely gotten my form back a little bit since the event. I was feeling very confident going up to the event, and I think the BC match was honestly just a bad day for me. It wasn't that I played that bad, I just missed some crucial shots and wasn't as involved in the game as I'd want to be. We're still just working on our team, finding like the right pieces and getting the most out of everyone.
And do you think there's room for further evolution in the roster as we head into 2025?
Absolutely. We'll back when I joined up with Cryptic and Freshie on Detonate, we had like about 6-7 months maybe of just hard work and grinding the game and getting a feel for each other and our system. And on that team, once we got signed by Wildcard, my breakout came like 6 or 7 months into the team. So I get better as long as we stay a team, and I just get more comfortable.
And with playoffs locked in, what would it mean for you to secure your second numbered frag victory to end the year?
It would mean a lot. Fragadelphia 16 was one of my first big events. I kind of showed my name and I showed my game, and so this event means a lot to me, and it would mean a lot to win this event.
All right, so that is Sleight of Boss cruising through to playoffs, and we'll see them in action, I believe, on Saturday. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll let you get ready for playoffs.